So again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, and I have a project in mind. It's a little more complicated than usual. I have a swipe card, or a piece of a swipe card that's some heavy stuff that came from the dollar store. Here, I think I've got the original packaging. $1 for 2 sheets. I'm going to use that wait, $1 for 2 sheets. So you can actually focus on that. I've used half acrylic multi-surface neon purple folk art with hot orchid from Color Art Prism Pour and mixed those together. Just to be completely transparent, the neon purple had iridescent pearl fine from Golden mixed into it. This is a weird canvas. It has some texture. I'm just going to learn to live with that because I'm not wasting a canvas. I have a small amount of Decor Americana Obsidian, which is a metallic black. I'm going to use that in my trees. I have half water and half Meeden black because it's so black I trust that I can make my little branches on my birch tree. I have an egg poacher, or whatever you want to call it. It's for fried eggs. It's got a handle on it. I think you could use anything. And I've put some Decor Americana 24 karat gold that has orange in it right on that container. And I want to put a sun in my sky, but I'd like it to be round. And I am going to use the rest of the paint right out of my dish. And I'd like to have it be thin enough so that when I'm done putting the swiped land or grass or whatever it is at the bottom in, it'd be mostly dry. And I'm thinking maybe if I was less fussy about perfection in the sun, it would be okay, because the reason I'd like it mostly dry is because I want to put my birch tree right over in front of it. So I'm just taking the smallest amount of paint on my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula. You can find these on my Amazon link, along with the OXO omelet turning flip and folds spatulas. And I'm just being really careful to stay inside my lines, which doesn't sound like me at all, but never mind. I'm just putting a little bit down, not at the actual edge, then I'm squeezing it forward. Trying not to go outside the lines. Because it's a dry, pre-primed canvas on the background, it means I can probably wipe up any accidents. And in theory, I think I would probably think about doing this in advance also again next time. That way I could have more than one. I need the rounded end one. That's all there is to it. Oh, I've just knocked down the plastic. The Floetrol in general, the Floetrol mixture in my paint pouring recipe is below the video underneath Show More. And it generally, especially when it's thin, but it generally will be a paint leveler. So I'm just going to dab some strokes in here, sort of like brush strokes, which means it probably won't be dry enough, but at least I'll get the bottom half done. I've done another one of these on a larger canvas, and this is sort of my backsliding to wanting to have a little practice before I make any serious decisions in the regard for the larger canvas. And I could probably torch that really quickly to make sure there's no bubbles in there, because it looks like there's a few. Also looks like I could probably attempt to level it out. I don't think it matters in the least that there's some pink showing through in the background. I kind of like it, actually. So now I'm going to knock off the paint off my spatulas, wipe them off of my damp cloth, which is not very damp right now. Excuse me while I dampen my cloth. One of the most important things in my studio is my damp sweatshirt piece of rag to wipe off spatulas so that the paint does not get stuck on them. I feel kind of bad about leaving that paint in my dish. So I'm going to wipe it right on my low leafy silicone mat, which makes a great skin. So now I have some Amsterdam black paint, acrylic paint. I see that. And it has 10 drops to 2 ounces of pre-mixed paint. It has 10 drops of pre-stain wood conditioner from Minwax in it. And I am going to use that to swipe, I believe. And what I might do is put it along the edge so I swipe down. We'll see how this goes the first time. I'm kind of nervous about having enough or not enough paint. That was a Deco Art Copper. I think Deco Art Americana. I just want a grassy forest floor, and I'm thinking that if I take my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula and make my tree the width of it, I can scrape the paint away that might bleed up underneath if I'm quick. Oh, I didn't open my purple. I must have a purple that's open now. That one's open. So that's a purple metallic that's made from a dioxazine purple. I think the only difference between it and the dioxazine is that it has a little bit of iridescent pearl fine from Golden, which is my MO, which is what I like to do. Do I have enough copper at the top there? I'm not sure. I think I'm going to make sure that I can pull right down by having enough on my edges. I might even let that go right over the edge, because I liked it in the last one that I did my dry run on. So now I'm going to use this for my tree white, or at least rest my card in there. I'm going to try and wipe my card off in between. Hopefully this is shaken up enough. I know there's a marble in there. Because this is not a wet canvas, that gives me the nerve to try and do this. Right like that. And that kind of worked. I do have enough paint left on my card. To do my edges. So I'm going to grab my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula and just use the paint right off the card. I don't think it matters if it's not the same. It's similar. The less you mix it with your finger and press it down, the better off you are. If you dab it, you might even keep some of the colors. So I should probably show that to you guys. I should probably also contemplate if I'm going to put my birch tree in there, doing what I said I was going to do and scrape down. I could probably scrape up as well. Okay, here goes nothing. I'm going to blow that paint right out. And away. And use anything that I happen to need on the bottom, which isn't much. Now, the question is, should I do the exact same thing on the sun, or should I take a chance? My tree's kind of lilting to one side. I don't recall birch trees having much of a root system that you see above ground. Alright, I'm just going to wipe that off and take the dog hair take the dog hair off of my spatula. I think I caught that in time. Because it's dry and I'm going to put white paint over it, shouldn't be a problem. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to show you that. Kind of like, that looks cool. So now, having never done this before, I think I'm going to take my Meeden white paint. First I'm going to wipe off the card because it's exactly the right length for my tree, I think. And I made sure I had my studio rag ready, so that's going to come in handy right now. While I wipe that off, I'm going to put my little dip plate right into my bucket so it doesn't firm up. Whoops. I found some black paint from someplace and I don't know where. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back to my way just because I'm a little more comfortable with that. I don't know how this is going to work, so bear with me. I'm going to put it on this side and dip it in, or at least pour it down. Don't want that falling right on anything right now, especially not into wet paint. I think I might put a little bit of that black onyx I was telling you about. Right into the white. Probably have more than I need. How am I going to do this? I think I'm going to take my spatula and just take some of that paint. And dab it around. I hope I get away with this. Here goes nothing. Maybe I'm going to run that down first so that there's at least an even amount of it. Grab just about all I can. That's not that bad for a first try. No, that's actually pretty good. And I might be able to drag a skewer through there. Let's see if I can actually do that instead of just talking about it. I know I still have some of my paint still on there. I think a shorter card would probably be a lot less risky. Maybe even a smaller card. So where's my white paint? Let me take a smaller card. Probably not right over the picture would be better. That side is a problem. I suppose if in a pinch I can always pick up some of the white. I didn't think this all the way through, I have to say. Alright, somewhere here I have another, there we go, there's my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula. I'm going to blow that down. I really do think that wasn't good. But I also think I can change that. Probably should have spent more time looking at birch trees. It's not bad. I think I'm going to put some of the Meeden paint right on top of that black onyx. Take a chance and put something over the sun and see how it works. I'm really nervous. I need a much shorter spatula, and I do have one. So if I want to dab things across, make them look more realistic, I can certainly do that. It's not perfect, but it's kind of fun anyway. I feel like I should put a branch down further, but I'm not ready to be that brazen right yet. So I've got 2 minutes left to tell you guys whatever I'm going to tell you, and I got a good start on this. I just need some more white in my container, which I'm really not minding having that gray in there. Or onyx, whatever you want to call it. I want to turn this around because I want to put some branches on there. And I don't know if I can get away with it anyway. It's the first. I'm going to put that in the bucket because I don't believe I'll be using that anytime soon again. Show you guys. Now my canvas is nice and dry, so whoa, that was close. My ink dispenser is definitely dripping badly, so I'm not sure I'm going to get away with that, but I'd like to. I suppose if I was fast enough, and I better be, so all the things I usually tell you guys I'm going to forget about for the moment, because I'm going to try and actually do this without messing it up. And I think the only way to do it is to keep moving fast. Otherwise I'm going to get a blob. And even though I said it was a dry canvas and I could wipe it off, I'm really nervous that the Meeden black that's on my Amazon link, should you happen to want to shop there, it's at no added cost to you, is very black. So that's kind of cute anyways. Oh, there's my drip. Okay, I guess we get to find out. I'll just fake that out. It's coming out faster now than it was before. Darn. Well, I'll try not to panic. Try and figure out a different way to do this another time. So I love you guys. There's over 92,000 of you. There's over 1,800 videos. And they're organized onto playlists by the 100. I think I'm just going to learn to live with the slight blobs because they're kind of cute. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking with it. And I don't feel like I have much of a choice, and I might as well continue on with the same texture that I have already. If you know what I mean. Not so super thrilled with that one, but I might add some green leaves.